Welcome back, Shalloners, and welcome Beliebers, and welcome Mendes Army. General Lester reporting for duty. That's right, today we're going to talk about Shawn Mendes and Justin Bieber's run-in at a recent music industry event. And why do we care that they were in the same place? Oh, that's right, they're Eskimo brothers. They've both been involved with Hailey Baldwin. Shawn dated her a few years ago, and Justin, as we know, wifed her up. So we're going to break down whether or not Hailey made the right choice. And not just that, more importantly, we're going to talk about what we can learn. How to deal with your current, having to see your ex, how to make sure it goes really, really right, and what to do if things go south. But first, want to announce my new collaboration with Murder Apparel. I'm so excited. Now, you guys have seen and purchased and loved my old collaboration with them that's still on the market, still out there to buy. It's Cash Check Breaknecks. It's a really cool gothy shirt. This one is red lips, black hearts. I love it. I think it's so cute and like so me and like so subversive and twisted. I love it. So if you go to murderapparel.com, you'll find it and just enter code Shallon at checkout for 20% off. Put the link right on down there. You can shop to your little heart's content. So let's talk Hailey's exes. I mean, okay. So these two dudes got together at the Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony for the Universal Music Group chairman, Lucien Grainge. Who cares? Nobody cares. And it was quite the who's who of famous people. Lionel Richie was there. I think Haley Steinfeld was there. Sam Smith was there. Sam Smith looked a mess. Who is dressing him? And these like pants you fished out of a bin at the Michael Scott garage sale ain't it. These are not working for me, honey. T-shirt's cute. Shawn Mendes, of course, showed up looking like a daddy snack. He loves those pointy boots, doesn't he? He just can't get enough of those boots. I don't think I've ever seen him in just like sneakers or something. He's always like tip-tapping around, like pointy, pointy, pointy. Justin Bieber, of course, turned up looking, as we know, like he's lived his last fuckable day. He looks like someone you'd find behind an Arby's. He just looks awful. Oh, God. But only one of them spoke at the event. So I guess if you didn't know, getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is not as hard as it sounds, nor is it as prestigious. You basically have to donate $30,000, might be $32,000 to the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. And oh, look at that! You got a star! I mean, you have to be sort of somebody, but I feel like everyone on planet Earth now has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Like, people, you're like, who? Like, Kimora Lee Simmons, I think has one, like the Absolute Vodka Bottle. Godzilla, you're like, okay, how much distance is there in this Walk of Fame? How many miles does it go? Does it come down to Orange County where I'm from? You better stay out of my hometown with that bullshit. So Shawn stood up and spoke, and he first met Lucien Grainge when he was 15 and like signed because he was so famous so early. And he said, it was really cute. He's like, I never felt fear, only love and guidance. That's sweet. That's sweet. Justin didn't talk because it's probably not his strong suit at this point. Just, he'd say something like, no cap, bet, swag. Yeah. He just get up there and dab. He's becoming Fred Durst. We talked about this. Fred Durst and Logan Paul. Ugh, it's not good. So, of course, these two dudes kept it civil during like this interaction, but you just can't help but wonder what they were thinking, right? Like, have you ever been in a room where another girl had slept with your man at some point? Murder. I'd want her fucking dead. Want her dead. It's like, you know things that you shouldn't about someone who knows things about me. You know, like these Venn diagrams should not overlap. And I've always felt that there's bad blood between these two guys because when Hailey and Shawn broke up and Justin like got his hooks back in her, because it wasn't very long after that, Hailey deleted all of her pictures off Instagram of Shawn. And there's a few theories as to why, right? The first that seems more logical and like something we would deal with is Justin was like, take that shit down. I don't want him to see you on your Instagram. He's the past. I'm the present. I'm the future. Blah, 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 blah. I did a video about this at the time. I think it's so juvenile and ridiculous to delete your ex off your Instagram. Like, unless it turns out he actually was married. Like, okay, but if you just had your run-of-the-mill breakup, even if like someone cheated, like deleting them is not going to unring the bell, girl. It happened. And it's just going to make you look childish and not over it and petty. And what do we always say is the number one way to get revenge on an ex? Ice them out. Your life continues as per usual. You don't post an emo lyric. You don't retweet anything from a Tinder blog. You just keep on keeping on. Living your life didn't affect you. And deleting somebody is going to show in a big way that, girl, you are very much not over. You are still very pressed. So that was a theory that Justin wanted her to take these things down. Another theory is that Hailey didn't realize she was in a fake relationship with a homosexual named Shawn Mendes. As you know, I feel personally victimized by the rumor that Shawn Mendes is gay. I don't know. Because I have just heard too many conflicting things. I've heard first person, oh, my friend slept with him. My female friend slept with him. I've heard that from 3 different people. I've heard a friend of a friend of a friend saw him at a party making out with a guy in LA. I'm I don't know. Is it wishful thinking? Probably. Am I a very good journalist? No. I'm mad about it. It's my channel. I can be shitty if I want to. So yeah, the theory is that she was I was your beard this whole time? And deleted them. Or a combination. Justin was you need to delete those pictures of a gay guy who you dated off your Instagram. And Hailey's oh shit, okay. But no matter what the reasoning was, that's how it played out. So what are we gonna get out of this, right? Because no matter where you live, it's probably a small town. I live in New York City, and it is the smallest town I've actually ever lived in. I don't mean population-wise. Obviously, it's the largest, but it's the densest. And you know what happens when there's density? You bump into everyone all the goddamn time. Because Manhattan itself, the island, is quite small. It's only a few square miles. And for the most part, people who are in my socioeconomic class, do kind of what I do for a living, live sort of where I live, we all go to the same sort of cluster of bars and hotspots. So it is not unreasonable to think that you're going to go out and run into someone either you've hooked up with directly or dated, their friend, their new girlfriend, someone you saw on their page. It gets small. And I know most of you guys are living in smaller towns than New York City. So when you try to move on from a relationship, it's hard to actually move on if you haven't moved out. And that means you and your new are going to run into your old. And what happens then? You guys know my theory. People are not entitled to your history. The people you date are not entitled to your history. They're not entitled to anything you don't feel like telling them, whether that's how old you are, it's me, or how many people you slept with, or what happened to your father, whatever, or who you dated and why it ended and all the little peccadillos about that. I really don't believe we should get too much into what happened with exes. I think it clouds our current relationship. If you tell the guy you're dating, I cheated on my ex and, I learned from it and all this stuff, what's the only thing that he's going to hear? I cheated. And he's going to be well, she's going to cheat on me. That's human nature. So why introduce it into evidence if it's already done and off the table? If you've learned from it, you moved on, who cares, right? But if you live in a town where you think these people might run into one another, that complicates things. Because on one hand, I still want to say then you especially shouldn't tell people anything about your ex. If it might be someone he knows and interacts with, but rumors get around, and you really, really don't want your boyfriend to hear that dude across from him in his poker club fucked his girlfriend once upon a time. He doesn't want to get blindsided by that because he's going to feel like a fool, right? As we all would. And then he's going to lash out. And who's he going to take it out on? You. He's going to be why did you keep this from me? Now I look like an idiot. Everyone's laughing at me. Everyone's been talking about me behind my back. It's the same humiliation we feel when we get cheated on, right? It's oh, this life that I thought I was living was actually a lie. And now I'm just super, super embarrassed. I'm super humiliated and I feel like a super fool. So it's important to find a middle ground between being I am telling you absolutely nothing. I am a virgin. I've never been with anyone. And being and on Tuesday, April 26th, he said that. And going through the laundry list of your ex relationship. Because the downside of that It's number one. Like I said, you're introducing things into evidence that now this person gets to judge, because men always feel like they get to judge someone, right? Yeah. It's like, I'm not offering this to you, my story and my life history, as a paper you get to grade. It's a fucking library book. You read it and you bring it back. It belongs to me. So if we tell a lot, yes, we give someone a context to a relationship, but we also invite them in to give opinions. And they're going to form opinions of their own, both about you, but also about the ex. Because guess what? Guess what? You're probably spinning a yarn about your ex that doesn't exactly paint him in the most flattering light. Like, obviously, you're not going to be like, oh, tremendous guy, awesome, I fucked it up completely, I miss him, I'll love him forever. You're not going to say that. You'll be like, he did those things with the things. So then, and like on one hand, that has a benefit for your current relationship, because that's going to make your boyfriend sympathetic towards you. You're going to be able to manipulate him easier. He's going to love you more. He's going to love you harder. He's going to understand where you're coming from in terms of things that trigger you or that you have like an issue about. But he's also going to have data, and data gets analyzed. So when he goes out to the bar and he sees your ex, he's going to be like, data machine, and he is going to spit out a result that is not going to be good. It's going to ignite that animal instinct in him, the same animal instinct that you benefited from in terms of, I'm protecting you, I'm going to keep you away from that guy, I'm going to love you so hard, no one's going to treat you like that. Well, there's a flip side to that, and it's an absolute berserker war machine. He's going to look at that dude and be like a French ambulance, just like this blacked out siren voice in his head. And he's going to want, a lot of times, some sort of confrontation. Now, hopefully, you're not dating someone who is like a berserker war machine, who's just going to go like windmilling into a bar to like beat the shit out of your ex. But you got to be real clear with yourself if you are. If that really is who you're dating, if they'll fight for you, they might fight you too, girl. Like, you can't always rein in that violent instinct. You know, like, violence is violence is violence. And no matter who it's towards, it's not good and it's not healthy. So it might be real sexy and cute that he's going to go punch your ex out. Maybe one day you're going to piss him off as bad as your ex. And then what happens? So think long and hard about the character of the person that you're dating and truly what is like likely in this scenario. Also, you got to be honest with yourself. Do you tell him these things about your ex purposely to gas him up? Do you want him to go into this bar like Ragnar from Vikings, like, defending your honor? Are you going to be like, no, don't do it. No, don't. There's a pool cue right there. Just grab it. No, don't do it. Do you want this beer bottle? It's broken. If that's what you want, honestly, fuck you. Like, honestly. Like, if you're goading two people into violence, who are you, the Emperor Commodus? This isn't your own gladiatorial arena. This is not the Colosseum. It's Brother Jimmy's by the side of Highway 57. Like, you don't get to do this. You don't get to be a puppeteer over people's lives. Do you enjoy it when people do it to you? No. And that's probably why you want to do it to other people, because we always hurt people, right? Like, this explains Trumpers. They are tired of being oppressed by life and being the bottom of the food chain. So it's like you have this fat orange beanbag chair of a person be like, you know what? Fuck the Mexicans. And they're like, yeah, yes, someone lower than me, an Arby's person. Don't even come to me with Arby's. So you have this mentality of like people who feel disenfranchised and powerless, when they find someone weaker, they're going to be excited about it, you know? And if you are purposely, if you consciously or unconsciously, if you know that and you're enabling that, fuck you. Like, fuck you. You deserve to be in a bad relationship, because I don't appreciate it when people weaponize me, and you shouldn't do it to other people. If you want to feel that sort of like vengeance over your ex, truly, and I'm not just saying this, this is not like a Hallmark phrase, like, truly living well is revenge. Like, what does this necklace say? What does it say? It doesn't say love. It says revenge. I like it. Look at this t-shirt. Is this t-shirt not like revenge in pictures? I love it. But I also love the long con. And I love getting to them so deeply that they are broken and crushed. Like if somebody hurts me, it's like, I'm not going to go like post about them on a message board or buy up their domain name. I don't do that anymore. That's a really good idea though. I am going to move on and they don't exist. Like our queen Rihanna says, I have no need for revenge. I'm no longer yours and that's punishment enough. The accuracy. To totally ice someone out and be like, who? What? Who are you? What is your life? Oh. Blew right by me. Because that makes people feel insignificant, right? And feeling insignificant is the same as being invisible. And if you are invisible, if you're like a ghost, then no one can love you. So it really does like attack them in such a more like deep existential way and really gets under people's skin. It's kind of amazing. So if you think your current and your ex might run into each other, truly ask yourself, what is it you're hoping to get out of the situation? Civil conversation? All right, maybe that's realistic, maybe that's too much to hope for. A bar fight? Don't do it. Or do you simply want your ex to see you living your best life? Okay, this is what you do. Best life is not always most extreme life. You know what I mean? Like your favorite outfit might not be your most extreme outfit. The thing that you love and you feel cutest in might not be like your prom dress. I mean, it might be, but it might be something a little bit more like middle of the road, like up middle of the road, but it might not be like over the top. And our behaviors should be sort of like this. If you go out to a bar and you're like, like French City with your boyfriend because you know your ex is there, it's like, first of all, everyone can see through you. Everyone can see right through you. You are fooling nobody. You're fooling nobody. You look silly and you look like a child, like a 15-year-old. Maybe you are 15. You still don't need to look like a 15-year-old. You can look elevated. You can look like part of the Shallon rush, right? You don't need to play into those clownish things. You can go there. You can be with your boyfriend. And you know what you can be? Focused. You can be focused on him. You can be casual, breezy. Your body language reflects. You're laughing. You're talking to people. Hi, oh my gosh, I was like, so nice to see you. Honey, you want a drink? Okay. You are unbothered because what are we always striving for with an ex? Neutrality. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's apathy. So if you can demonstrate that when you're out, there won't be a beef, right? And if your ex or your current is trying to start something, remove them from the situation. Remove them from the situation. Like, it's just not going to get anyone anywhere because if your if your current starts popping off at your ex, like, you know what, bruv, you shouldn't treat her like that. She's a decent woman. Don't treat her like that. Then your ex is going to go home that night and be like, because he's going to know you spent your time with your current boyfriend talking about him. And that's going to tell him she's not over it. She's not, mate. She's not over it. I know she's not. She's been talking about me. And then he wins. That's not neutrality. That's not apathy. So let your boyfriend in on this. Be like, look, if we go out, we see Travis, don't talk to him. Don't engage with him. He might try to bait you. He's a clown. I'm embarrassed that I date him. And say what I told you. Be like, look, if you engage with him, he's going to think that we both care and that he's this like third party in our relationship and he's so important that I'm still so into him. Don't give him that. As frustrating as it is, we're just going to get our stuff. We're going to look away. We're going to walk out. Party's done. He wants a fight. And we don't need to give people that. We already gave our exes enough, right? We gave them the past. Don't give them the future. I want to know what you guys have to say about Justin and Shawn running in together. Do you think Hailey made the wrong decision? Should she have stuck it out with Shawn? Should she have succeeded where other people have failed? Oh God, I just wish she'd break up with Camila Cabello. Ugh, so grating and irritating. Or do you think Justin's their true love? And tell me about run-ins that your ex and your current have had, how you've handled it, and if you've been on the other side. If you're out with your man and suddenly a snake-ass ex-girlfriend comes along, what do? We can do a video about that too. Like I said, shop my new Murder Apparel collab, murderapparel.com, and enter code Shallon at checkout for 20% off. It's really super fun. You can also buy my other imprint cash checks, breaknecks, and Follow me on Instagram at shallonxo. Keep up